Boss Train here. Been picking the spreads for years before I've looked at them. Uh, Here's the ones for the games this week and what I thought they'd be. Thursday night, you got Arizona at San Francisco. I thought this would be AZ minus 3.5. It's minus 4. I go up to 4.5. San Fran beat LA 28-0 to start the season. Then they looked terrible. Just lost Navarro Bowman, which I think it'll be a big loss. When he lost in the when he got hurt the first time in the NFC Championship game, this team's been downhill ever since. I was hope he gets better. I thought Kaepernick would be playing by now. I thought that's why they brought Chip Kelly in. They don't look very good. Arizona look like one of the best teams ever to start the season on paper. Haven't played that well. Even with Drew Stanton, I think they should be a 4-point favorite. And I think they'll win. I think they'll get back on track. The ball hadn't bounced their way. They're just too good, and San Fran doesn't have much going on right now. Yeah, Houston and Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would be a 7-point favorite. They're 6 right now. I don't see Houston scoring more than 20. Minnesota might be overly protective of the ball, trying to win a low-scoring game, and that might backfire on them. But other than that, I think they should not only win but cover the 7. Houston couldn't get the ball to Nuke Hopkins last week. It's probably be even tougher to get them the ball against Minnesota. I thought I was uncertain of Osweiler, and he's looking like a backup and not a starter right now, which is not going to play well out in Minnesota. Tennessee at Miami. I thought Miami would be like a 6-point favorite coming off a bye week against a team that no one kind of follows, the Titans. I thought the Titans would be all right this year. They haven't looked that good. Miami's D-line looked real good, but if you can run the ball against them, Miami doesn't have a good offensive line, so if you can rush Tannehill, he's not the greatest quarterback. He's not bad either. Jarvis Landry could have a big game right here. I could see that. Mariota's going to have a big game for Tennessee to win, which is possible. But I think Miami will win the game. Covering, I don't know. I think it'll be right in that 2017 range. So I don't know. New England at Cleveland with the return of Brady. I thought they'd be this big 8-point favorite or whatever. They're 10.5. It says it opened at 7.5, which is what I thought would be in that range. I could definitely see it going that way with Brady having the big comeback game. But Cleveland is actually not a terrible matchup. They do have a pretty good defense. Whether Cleveland's able to score any points and cover, I don't know. I definitely don't see them winning the game, even if Brady has a bad game and throws a couple picks. New England's way better all around. I could see Cleveland giving Brady a hard time screwing up his homecoming, but I think they'll just cover. I don't know. This would be fantastic if Cleveland won, because this is a huge game for them. Only team without a win in the season. Some say they wouldn't win all year. Small chance, but it is possible. Jets at Pittsburgh. I thought Pittsburgh would be a 7-point favorite. A lot of home dogs and big home favorites this week. Jets just have not looked good. I thought they'd be good this year. They were pretty good last year. Steelers are still a little unpredictable. I don't know what happened in that game against Philly where they lost so bad. They looked like I thought they would last week. They reminded me of that Rams offense when Kurt Warner was there. Antonio Brown's so fun to watch, one of the best receivers ever, and they got other guys, and now they've got Le'Veon Bell in the mix. I think they'll definitely try and get Bell a big game in this. Keep that Jets defense on their toes. I think Pittsburgh will win and have a big game, especially if I could see Forte having a big game as well. But Jets have got, they've got the 3 big-time players, and I know Decker's banged up. He looked great, but he looked banged up. So if those 3 guys aren't healthy, Jets just aren't a playoff team or a contending playoff team. And this is a bad matchup, especially got a little deflated against that Hawks last week. But Steelers defense won't be nearly that good, but their offense is way better, so they're going to have a tough time. Washington, and that's one game that could be affected by the storm. Who knows? This next one, Washington, Baltimore, will almost definitely be affected by the storm. I haven't heard anything about them moving. I guess I'll talk about that later in the week. I thought the Ravens would be 3.5. They're 4. Probably be around 3.5 by game time, or some have them at 3.5. Two evenly matched teams. Both teams have great players. Both teams have some weak links. So it'll just depend on who plays better. Obviously, what I'm wanting to see is Steve Smith versus Josh Norman. Big fan of both of those guys. A lot of fun to watch. Similar temperaments, but Josh Norman kind of plays the easy going guy off camera, which even though he's a lot like Steve Smith, and he's pretty fiery. So I'm assuming those guys were friends in Carolina for the 2 or more years they played together, but I'm sure they're both wanting to match up. Philly at Detroit. I thought Philly would be a 2.5, 3-point favorite. And that's what they are, with a 3. And I could see Detroit winning this game. They've been unpredictable, a lot like the Chargers and the Saints the last few years because they toss the ball around so much. All they got, if Stafford scores 3 or 4 touchdowns, obviously they're going to be in the game. I like Philly. I think Philly will win the game, probably cover. Coming off a bye week, looking like the best coach and GM acquisitions in the offseason. I don't love Philly to win, but I think they'll win. But Detroit wins games like this all the time. Anytime they're playing somebody that's in their ballpark, figuratively as well as literally, they have a chance. Definitely hadn't looked that great for a while now, so I like Philly, but wouldn't be surprised at all if Detroit wins and wins by like 7 or something. This game's similar as well. Chicago and Indy, two of the worst defenses in the league. I thought Indy would be a big 6-point favorite. They're 4.5 or 5. Andy Luck looked great last week. I could also see this be the kind of game where Jake Cutler, if he plays, justifies being an NFL quarterback and padding his stat line. But it's hard to talk about the Bears. I do like Alshon Jeffrey, but other than that, it's hard to care too much about the Bears right now. For as long as Cutler's in the NFL, I always thought that was a terrible decision, and he's kind of trashed the team, really. I mean, even Bears fans will agree to that. I think agree to that. Colts, Andy Luck's he struggled last season when everybody was hyping him up. Looked pretty good yesterday, but terrible defense. The over-under is only 48, so Chicago scores points. This game will go way over, I think. Atlanta at Denver. This is a real interesting matchup. I thought because of the way Atlanta's looked, they'd be only a 4-point underdog or so. Or yeah, well actually I have 3.5, but they're 5.5 to 6. So with the way Denver's looked, Denver's a bad matchup for any team in the league, especially teams like Atlanta, where your quarterback likes to drop back and sometimes throw the ball to the other team. Talib's one of the best corners in the league. Denver's got smart coaches, though. They're not just going to have him covering Julio. Julio, you have to game plan for. Denver's got great coaches. If Von Miller gets to Matt Ryan, this game will be over, I think. But I think Atlanta could cut. 5.5, 6. I don't know. I could also see Atlanta winning straight up if Devontae Freeman has a big game. He might. To me, I like him. He seems like a big-time running back. If Atlanta gets going, possibly. I don't know. I could also see. Plus, Denver might have Paxton Lynch. I think Trevor will play. Both look great. Denver. Looking at this, you kind of think Denver's going to win big, but I don't know. I've always followed the Falcons a little bit, so I could see them rolling that every. People think because they've stunk the last couple of years they won't be good, but Atlanta's had a bunch of seasons where they've, one season they went 14-2. Next year they weren't that good. They're up and down 1 minute the next because they have a couple of big time players. They lost Sean Witherspoon for the year, which is another terrible loss. Linebacker coming back from injuries that made them a legit defense because their secondary is starting to look good. But that'll be a big loss. See if it affects them in the passing game because he's one of the best pass covering linebackers in the league. Buffalo at Los Angeles. It's a pretty interesting game on paper. Didn't look like that at the beginning of the season. I thought Los Angeles would be small favorites, 2.5, and that's what they are. I could see Buffalo winning this game, though. The Rams beat the Hawks week 2, I think. Beat Arizona, which I don't think anybody saw that coming. If they get turnovers, they'll win the game for sure. Probably win big. Buffalo's pretty good at protecting the ball, and they've got a good defense. This over-under is 39.5 or 40, with by far the fewest of the week, about as low as it goes. So it might be like a 13-10 game. A lot will depend on if Tyrod Taylor can make plays. I think he will. I think Buffalo will win straight up, like 17-13 type game. Maybe even lower scoring than that. Both teams like to get special teams, defensive touchdowns. So if it does go way over, don't be surprised. San Diego at Oakland. I thought Oakland would be a 5-point or 4-point. I'm terrible at picking San Diego games. Followed Phillip Rivers since NC State. He's up 1 week, down the next. Last week, blowing a 13-point lead with 2 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I quit watching that game because I thought it was over, and then I turned back, and New Orleans was up 35-34. So who knows? I'm gonna stick with Oakland. I pick Oakland to win that division. I'm sticking with that. So I'm gonna stick with them to win and cover. Cincinnati at Dallas. This is a great matchup. Cincinnati they've got Fontes back, big playmaker on defense, and it's already very good. So Prescott's been great. Elliott's great. If they can make some plays, they can win the game, especially and if their pass rush gets after Andy Dalton. But I thought Cincinnati would be a 2-point favorite. They're 1 right now. A lot of people think this would be a coin flip game. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Dallas hadn't really beat anybody yet. I think Cincinnati will have a good game plan for this and win the game. Giants at Green Bay. I thought Green Bay would be a big 8-point favorite. They're only 7 right now. Might go up to 8. Should be a high-scoring game. It's at over-unders 48. Who knows what to think of the Giants right now? I could definitely see them scoring points, staying in this game, and maybe getting a couple lucky plays on defense to maybe even have a chance to win. But Aaron Rodgers, to me, hasn't been. Sometimes he looks as great as ever. Some times he kind of pumps the brakes, and their momentum hasn't been as great. They got those big-time receivers. I got no reason to think they won't roll against the Giants, but if the Giants come out and score 27, 28 points or more, obviously they're going to be in the game. But I think Green Bay will definitely score at least 3 touchdowns and a few field goals. I definitely see them winning. Not definitely, but I think they'll win, and I think they'll cover also. Then you got Tampa Bay at Carolina, which is going to be a rivalry game. I thought Carolina would be a big 7.5 favorite. They're only 6 right now. So I think Carolina will win. They definitely don't look like they did last year. I thought Tampa Bay would be all right last year. Mike Evans is a big-time player, but they haven't been so great. So this doesn't even have over-under right now. So who knows? I think Carolina will win and cover. I could see Winston getting the ball. You get the ball to Mike Evans, score a couple touchdowns, you're definitely in it. Sims isn't a bad running back. They need Doug Martin back. I don't know if he's coming back, but they don't really have a third guy like they used to. So their running game's not that great. If they can run the ball against Carolina, Carolina's still got the great front seven, just not a very good secondary right now. So who knows? Probably be a close game. I think Carolina will win. Probably won't cover the 7 though. All right, thanks guys. See you some other time.